Fuck, I don't give a fuck about Jeff Dunham.
That's true. Who the hell cares about Jeff Dunham? Jeff Dunham hasn't told a funny joke in 6 years. Anyways, we are live. What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 41 of the Hot Stove Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Nunez, and I'm here with two of my co-hosts.
That's me. That's Josh. Coming at you.
And that's me. That's Mark.
Yeah. Austin is nowhere to be found, as per usual.
I think Jeff Dunham got to him.
And Josh is about to leave us to watch a puppet guy who used to be popular 7 years ago. So, that's the state of this burgeoning program here. But
we're so good.
But,
Yeah, guys, sorry, can't make the podcast tonight. I got to go watch Jeff and Walter crack some jokes.
I gotta go watch Jeff Dunham stick his hand in some fucking fabric for a couple hours in the year 2021, like live. Not even pulling out the old DVDs or anything like that. Like, I mean, that might be more sad, to be honest with you. If you went over to somebody's house and they just pulled out like a 2003
special. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was on like Comedy Central.
I shit you not, the first response, it wasn't me that when the first guy who put in there like, hey, we should all get together and watch this, or I bought it, let's come watch it. The first guy was like, are you serious? Are we doing that? Oh, you're serious? Okay, yeah, I'll come through. Sure.
Like, yeah, wait, you're serious? We're watching Jeff Dunham in the year of our Lord, cool. 2021.
I'll do anything for Jeffrey.
Yeah. I was telling him beforehand, I saw Jeff Dunham live back in like 2014. I remember being really upset because he didn't do any new material. It was like all of the old jokes that I already knew. So like,
well, I believe 7 years later you would be just as disappointed watching the new one. So
I'm gonna tell you, I'll get back on this for the FanDuel day. Hopefully, it's already started by then, and this is like the funniest show. I'll be like, Dunham's back.
Shit, hopefully it's over by then. What the hell are you talking?
Yeah, I just hope to be like, dude, Dunham's back. This was genius. Best stuff ever.
Yeah, it's just like Chappelle's revival, right? Dunham's back. Oh, yeah. Best stuff ever. He's a genius. It's one of the best comedy specials I've ever seen in my life.
Sticks and Stones 2, Electric Boogaloo, starring Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham. Well, before Josh, you got to go. So,
all right, peace out, boys. I'll be back for the FanDuel.
Goodbye, Josh. Yeah. So before we get into our content for this episode, a couple of things here. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at HotStovePod. That's at HotStovePod on Twitter. Here on the YouTube side, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment if you feel like commenting, as well as tuning into Hot Stove Radio Edition. We had our first show this morning, Tuesday the 28th. People watching this episode will be seeing it afterwards. So, excuse me, this upcoming Tuesday, October 5th, I think.
Should be, yeah.
Let me see. Austin's here.
Hey, what the? Austin,
you're telling me you skipped out on Jeff Dunham to come be on this podcast?
On what?
No. No?
Mm-mm.
Josh isn't here because he's going over to somebody's house to, I shit you not, watch a live Jeff Dunham performance in 2021.
Oh, I knew he was going over to someone's house. I didn't know that's what they were doing.
Yeah. Like I said, in the year of our Lord 2021, apparently Jeff Dunham is doing shows and people are watching it. So,
I can't believe that.
Really shows the level of commitment to this podcast that Josh has. Anyways,
I refuse to believe that.
Trust me. We spent the last 10 minutes talking about it. Anyways. Yeah, so Tuesday mornings, this upcoming Tuesday is the 5th. Make sure to tune in 9 a.m. WQAQ.
Yeah.
Link is in our Twitter bio, so follow us at HotStuffPod on Twitter. Other than that, we got a lot of trivia to get to, so we might as well get to.
Oh gosh.
But
that's
first,
a 1v1.
First, we got to go over FanDuel from this last week, and I apologize, Austin, but you got an automatic last place because you didn't submit your lineup. So, Austin,
jet lag.
Austin takes his first fourth place finish of the year. Let's see how else this shook out. I finished in third with 107 points. Josh finished in second with 112.6 points. And you know what that means. You heard it right, ladies and gentlemen. Mark won. 119.62 points. It was a pretty low scoring week.
I'm back.
We've been up in the 150s as of late. Mark got first with 120. Good for him. That's a first place finish. He's not like that.
I have a quick celebration.
Yeah.
I would like to.
I kill you. Oh, here we go.
Back in the day of 8th grade, were you a big Jeff Dunham guy?
I was a Jeff Dunham guy. I'm not gonna lie.
So was I.
I was
Jeff Dunham.
Back in 7th grade, Walter was the single funniest character I'd ever seen.
Oh yeah, and especially because he was just an old guy who just said "shut the hell up." It was funniest shit on the planet.
It's the Pickle Rick thing, just funniest shit I've ever seen.
Dude, I mean, let's be fair.
Dude,
Pickle Rick is
Pickle
the funniest
Rick.
joke ever told. So
Pickle Rick is the most unfunny thing I've ever seen in my life.
this comes from a person who's seen all of Rick and Morty. So.
I like the show, but I just didn't ever get. I mean, is this some kind of super post irony that I'm just not picking up on here?
The opposite. I think it's just supposed to be funny because he turned himself into a pickle. Which, to be fair, in and of itself, it's kind of funny. But the whole Pickle Rick bit that's been picked up by the FYE of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean when I say that. It's not funny. Anyways, yeah, that's we're gonna go over our lineups later. Josh is gonna join us to go over our lineups at the end of the show. He said that he would join the call again and hope that the Jeff Dunham special had started by then.
It doesn't start until 9.
It doesn't start until 9 in the first place?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, so he's going to a pregame party for the Jeff Dunham show.
What?
I mean,
what year is it?
Can you really watch Jeff Dunham sober at this point? I mean, if you
Absolutely.
are, you're doing something completely wrong.
Bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I would want to watch Jeff Dunham if I were plastered.
I feel like if I get drunk enough and someone was like, let's watch Jeff Dunham, I'd be like, absolutely.
All right, we'll try that. When you come up, we'll have you come up at some point in the winter,
Mm-hmm.
over winter break, and we'll do a hot stove episode where we get drunk and watch a Jeff Dunham special.
I'm very okay with this.
And we'll see what happens. I also think that's funny, so I put that one on the back burner. We should do that. But, anyways, trivia, right? Before we get into week 3, like I said, we got a lot of trivia, and not a lot of it is easy. So we should just get to it. Anyways, Fernando Tatis this season, good at baseball, allegedly.
Yep.
As you might think. He's got a 40-25 season. Meanwhile, he missed 30 games in the middle of the year, which is insane. But he became only the 4th player in MLB history to have a 40-25 season before his 25th birthday. I want you to tell me the other 3 players that did that.
Ted Williams.
No. I'll give you a hint off the bat. One of them was very recent. The other 2 were in the 20th century.
So
Okay.
I'll just go with Acuna right now.
Yes. Yeah. That's the very recent one from 2019.
Fudge Packer.
I'll give you the years for the other 2. Right off.
Okay.
1988 and 1998.
Jose Canseco.
Yes. Yep, that was 1988.
And
Griffey Jr.?
no, he was older than 25 and 98.
Yeah.
His rookie year was 89.
98.
A-Rod?
Yes. A-Rod is.
Oh, I was gonna say A-Rod, but the 20th century threw me off. I thought he would have been early 2000s for that.
Yep,
Damn it.
1998. He did that. All right, so we'll get to some of the other dumb ones here first before we get to the actual trivia questions. I got some stupid ones here. Max Fried of the Braves had a Maddox the other day.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, it's a complete game shutout in under 100 pitches. He's got 2 of them this season, actually. He's been very good. If you take out like his first 3 starts before the season or of the season, like when he was playing hurt and whatnot, he's got like a 2.5 ERA on the year.
Yeah, the guy's good.
I want you to tell me the last pitcher who had multiple Maddoxes in a season.
Greg Maddux.
Not true.
Ah, damn. He was the last Braves pitcher to do it. I did see that. He was the last Brave to do it.
He is not the
Hendricks.
last pitcher to do it, though.
Kyle Hendricks.
No. It's a good guess, though.
Yeah, that was a good guess.
I'll give you the year right off the bat because
R.A. Dickey.
it's not R.A. Dickey. And I'll tell you, Mark, you're wrong. It was not. Greg Maddux was not the last.
Oh,
Brave,
this guy was a Brave?
because this guy was a Brave and he did it in 2015.
Tim Hudson?
No.
Oh, no, he was on the Giants by then.
It was the only year this player played for the Braves.
What the? Ah, man. 2015 Braves.
It was also his only All-Star season. I can tell the Braves were bad this year because he went 6-17 with a 3.02 ERA.
Oh,
What the?
that's actually crazy. What?
And 2 Maddoxes in there. Like 2 of his wins were complete game shutouts.
Huh?
I don't know the answer to this.
I'll give you each
Wait a
couple
minute.
guesses because this one's going to be.
Did you say 6-17?
Yes.
There's only one guy I can think of that puts up records like that. I thought the ERA might be. Is it Shelby Miller?
Correct, Mark. It is Shelby Miller.
Shelby Miller put up records of like 6-13, like 4 years in a row.
Shelby Miller, in his only season with the Braves in 2015, went 6-17 with a 3.02 ERA of over 205 innings that season.
I forgot he was that good for them.
Previously, he went 15-9 and 10-9 with the Cardinals, and then the following year, in 2016, played for the Diamondbacks, in which he went 3-12.
Yeah,
Was legitimately terrible that year. He had an ERA over 6 in 2016. But yeah,
that was the Tukey Toussaint and Dansby Swanson trade. Traded Dansby to the Braves right after the Diamondbacks drafted him first overall.
What a good trade that ended up being, huh?
Oh yeah,
oh yeah,
that was a steal for the Braves.
Yeah,
Even Toussaint's been good this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Shelby Miller was the last pitcher to do it. So that was a fun question, right?
Of the trade where he ended up in Atlanta, but it's escaping.
I'll give you another fun question here. So the Braves, speaking of the Braves, this is coincidental that this next question involves them as well. All 4 of the Braves infielders have hit 25 home runs this season.
That's
crazy. It's a rare feat, mostly because second base usually drags that down. I want you to tell me the last team to do that.
Phillies?
What's that?
Yes.
Was it like the 08 Phillies?
No, it was in 2008, but it was not the Phillies.
I knew it was the wrong one.
Also not the Mets.
Was it the Braves?
No, it was not the Braves.
Okay, I was thinking Ugla, Chipper.
Dude, there's one team who could have done it, but
Dan Ugla was on this team.
Oh, so it was the Marlins.
Oh,
yeah, it was.
Marlins.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to cut to that one. I won't give a point for that one because of how on the nose I had to be with that hint. But yes, it was the 2008 Marlins.
Yeah, that was a giveaway.
I was gonna say the Yankees if Derek Jeter was good at baseball.
It was Mike Jacobs, Dan Ugla, Hanley Ramirez, and Jorge Cantu.
Mike Jacobs and Jorge Cantu are.
That's crazy. I'd like to see the.
What'd you say, Awesome?
I'd like to see the teams I named, like the Mets and the Yankees are two teams I was thinking. Obviously, Derek Jeter, but but I would like to see their home runs from their other three guys. I feel like
the Mets. Let's see. They had Carlos Delgado, who hit 38 home runs. That year, Jose Reyes had 16 and David Wright had 33. Luis Castillo was the second baseman. He hit 3 home runs.
I've got the Yankees here. Jason Giambi hit 32. Robinson Cano hit 14, but he only played. He played 159 games. It was before Cano was Cano, I guess.
Before the steroids.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Jeter hit 11 and A-Rod hit 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Cano had it then. That's why I was wondering.
He hadn't started juicing at that point. But yeah, the 2008 Marlins were the last team to do that. Fun fact. The last team to have all 4 infielders hit 30 home runs was, I believe, the 78 Phillies, if I remember correctly. One of the teams with Mike Schmidt on it in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot remember what year it was, but one of those teams was the last time every infielder hit 30 home runs.
It was not 78 because Ted Sizemore in 108 games hit 0.
Okay. Well, and I also could be wrong. I remember hearing that when I've heard about this question before. I think I remember hearing one of those 70s.
When's the last time a team like that missed the playoffs? They are on the brink if they lose this series with the Phillies.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, next trivia question.
It would be the Marlins.
Yeah, they probably didn't.
They went 84 and 77. They finished 3rd in the NL East.
The did not make the playoffs. That's true. The only reason I know that offhand is because obviously until last year, the only other times they'd made the playoffs, they won the World Series. So
yeah, that's true.
They'd only made the playoffs twice in their brief history as a franchise. All right, next trivia question. Joey Votto just reached 35 home runs this season. He's 37 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to give me the last person age 37 or older to hit 35 home runs in a season. Here's the catch. There were 3 of them because they did it in the same season.
Wait. Yeah, Nelson Cruz did it.
It was Nelson Cruz and it was Edwin Encarnacion.
Give me 1 second.
Was that right?
Is this just National League?
It might be because Nelson Cruz did hit 41 home runs 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wasn't he? Was he like 38 at the time?
Give me 1 second. Where the hell did I get this stat from?
All right, so
I got it off Twitter somewhere. Give me 1 second. It might have been National League.
It's got to be National League.
Yeah, I'm looking up the players right now. It's National League. Anyways.
All right, National League. Same season.
Can confirm it's National League. I'll give you the year. It's 2004.
All right, so Barry Bonds.
That is one of them.
Oh, over 40.
He might. I believe he was on the Mets this year. Carlos Delgado?
No.
He might not have been old enough yet.
Well, we just learned that Delgado hit 38 in 2008, so I pray to God he wasn't over 38 in 2004.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot he said he was on the Mets.
All right, so I'll give you this. The one of these players hit 36 in 2004 in his age 39 season, played all 162 games.
Okay.
For 2 teams, by the way. He was traded during the season. And then the other player in 2004, he was 37 years old and hit 39 home runs in 155 games.
My guess for that, Luis Gonzalez?
Nope. I can give you teams if you want. Not like a current player kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll give you one of these players played for the Cubs that season.
Oh, Sammy Sosa.
Not Sammy Sosa.
Oh.
The other player who got traded was traded from the Diamondbacks to the Dodgers.
Steve Finley?
Steve Finley is correct. Yes.
Wow. What a poll. That's where you get the Josh. Who?
The only reason I know that is because I used him on Diamond Dynasty on the show for back-to-back years as my center
Sammy
fielder.
Sosa, by the way, did hit 35 home runs in 2004, but he was only 35 years old.
Oh, okay. So the Cubs.
Yeah, for the Cubs.
So bad at past baseball knowledge.
I don't know if he was old enough, but I know he was on the Cubs around that time. Moises Alou?
Moises Alou is correct. He hit 39 home runs in 2004 at his age 37 season. Yes. Barry Bonds, Steve Finley, and Moises Alou were the last 3 National League old guys to hit 35 home runs. It's a fun fact for you right there.
Wow.
All right, we've got 2 more trivia questions here. These both deal with current players, so you should have better luck.
Stick with the old ones. I'm killing these.
Mark is mopping the floor today. All right, we'll do this one first. So there are 3 players in baseball this season with at least 30 home runs, but fewer than 400 at bats.
Okay. Tatis?
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
I don't think he missed that many games, but Soto?
Joey Gallo?
Missing him.
Soto and Gallo are both incorrect. Fernando Tatis is 457 at bats this season.
Oh, so
Holy
he's close.
crap. Oh my god. I don't even know where to begin on this one. Bo Bichette.
No, Bo Bichette's played like every game this season.
I only said Joey Gallo because he's at the plate right now in the Yankee game, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Juan Soto's at 486. Let's see. Bichette is at 616. Mind you, Bichette and Juan Soto are like 5 games apart in terms of the total amount of games. Bichette just doesn't walk.
Yeah,
so 600.
Soto's got 40 more walks than anyone in the National League.
Yes. It's not an overstatement to say he's 22-year-old Ted Williams in 2021. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Anywho, so I'll tell you this right off the bat. 2 of these players are because they missed substantial time this season.
Mm-hmm.
And still have hit 30 home runs. The other one is by the nature of the position that he plays.
Salvador Perez?
Nope. He plays
Realmuto?
often enough at DH as to where he gets all those at-bats.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Realmuto? Does he have 30 home runs?
No,
he does not.
I'm so confused. My brain is lagging. Oh, is it possibly Ohtani?
Nope.
Possibly.
The one that missed significant time is Kyle Schwarber.
He's one of them, yes.
Or one of the ones that missed significant time because he just says 31st tonight.
Yep.
But it is. Oh, no. Schwarber would have been the only one I could have gotten. Oh, no.
No, you know both of these other players.
I know, but Schwarber's my guy. He's my dude.
Trying to think of another catcher.
Yeah.
All right. But do we know if he's good or not?
I'm not answering that question, Mark.
All right, so it's Mike Zunino.
Yeah, it is Mike Zunino. I'm not going to fucking answer that. Yeah, Mike Zunino is
He's got 30?
Yeah.
Holy shit. What's he hitting, 180?
Let's see. The other one is an American League outfielder, by the way. Mike Zunino has played 104 games this season, has 32 home runs. He's batting .216.
Wow.
Too challenging. Too hard. Brain broken.
An American League outfielder.
Yep.
And is it Stanton?
It is not. Stanton's played like 140 games this season.
Yeah, he's been actually incredibly healthy for him.
Yeah, true. And he doesn't walk, so.
That's true.
I can confidently say it's not a Tiger. I don't even know if they have a guy with 20 home runs on their roster this year. Candelario might have 19 or 20.
Not a Tiger.
Eddie Rosario.
No.
Been playing the ball well.
He's not in the American League anymore, is he? Wasn't he traded as a Brave?
No, he's a Brave now.
Eddie Rosario was a teammate with this player at one point.
So you're telling me it's a twin?
Oh
no,
wait.
Because Eddie Rosario started the season on the Indians, so Franmil Reyes.
Franmil Reyes is the correct answer.
Well, he didn't say this season. He just said he was a teammate with him.
That's fair.
That's fair.
So I thought he was going trick question, you know?
It is Franmil Reyes. That is correct. He somehow was up to 30 home runs.
He has 30 home runs?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been great for my fantasy team.
How's that going this week? Or last week?
Nunez started killing me after he had 7 Reds in his lineup yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Mark and I, so big of an update here. I guess we haven't provided one all season. The finals for the Hot Stove MILB Invitational have arrived, and Mark and I are facing off in the finals. Mark ended up as the 6th seed, the last person to make the playoffs, after him and Josh went on a tear like the last 4 weeks of the regular season. I finished 2nd in the standings, and Mark and I are on this quoting course together. So we've just started. Currently, I'm up 5 categories to 4 at the moment because
because I had 4 starters go tonight, and none of them have given up a run yet. So
you have 0 runs.
I didn't have any production from my hitters yesterday.
There weren't very many games yesterday either.
Yeah, there was only 4 games yesterday, I think.
Yeah, but you luckily had the Reds game.
Yeah, I had some players from the Reds game. So my batters currently are hitting 459 with 4 home runs and 18 RBI so far already. So it'll be fun. It should be good down to the wire. We will update next week with who won. It's been a good league. I'm excited to renew it next year. We'll be back. Hot Stove MILB Invitational will be back next season. All right. We're half an hour in and we still have 1 trivia question to go. So
perfect.
Make it snappy. Anyways, there are 3 infielders in baseball this season that are hitting 300 with 10 steals since the All-Star break.
Trey Turner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jose Altuve?
Nope.
Whit Merrifield?
Nope.
These steals ones always get me.
Yeah.
I'll give you the divisions. American League Central and American League East.
Is it like Joey Wendell or something?
No, it's
the
not.
Rays? Okay.
Man, is it just Tim Anderson?
Nope.
Wow, it's a good guess.
Yeah, he's batting 300 with like 20 stolen bases this year, right? I mean, he just couldn't do it after the All-Star break. I struggle to get the stolen base part of this question all the time.
Yeah. Like, had you asked me this question, one of the 2 remaining players I would have gotten, the other one it would have taken me forever to get.
Was it just infielders or was it middle infielders?
It's just infielders, but coincidentally, these are both middle infielders.
So you're saying it's not Jose Ramirez?
No, it's not Jose Ramirez.
That was my last hope.
What's that?
Tatis?
I gave you the divisions.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
AL Central. Yeah.
AL East.
So, no, it's not Tatis.
Bichette?
Nope. You got to think lower on the rung of players here. You're aiming too high.
Oh, is it that one guy from the Royals? He's their starting shortstop. It's not Adalberto Mondesi because he never plays.
Yeah, I mean he has stolen like a dozen bases since he's in like the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
but he's only hitting like 230 in that time span. So.
Oh my.
The Red Sox don't steal bases, do they?
Not a Red Sox player.
No. It's gonna kill me trying to think of this Royal shortstop's name. He's hitting 300 on the year too. He's having a really solid year.
I'll tell you, this Royal shortstop that you're thinking of is a correct answer.
Well, I surely can't name a Royal shortstop, but I'll go Gleyber Torres.
Gleyber Torres was one of my guesses. Not correct. Because he has stolen like a dozen bases this season, and he's hit for no power. So,
if I say the last name, can I get it?
You can get half a point if you say the last name.
If you say who is first, will Jeopardy give it to you?
Jeopardy would give it to you if you said who is beforehand.
What about
I'll give it to you if you say who is last name.
Okay, who is Lopez?
Yes, it is Nicky Lopez.
Nicky Lopez.
Yeah, that's a great question. Who is Lopez?
Because I saw a random post on Instagram the other day about the season he was having.
Yeah. So I'll tell you this. The remaining player plays for one of our favorite teams.
And you said he plays in the AL East.
And you said he didn't play for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
So it's Gio Urshela.
It is not Gio Urshela.
No, it's a middle infielder not named Gleyber Torres. It's the second baseman for the Yankees. Is that a thing?
Torres is the second baseman now. Urshela is the shortstop. That's why.
Oh.
Tyler Wade.
All right.
Tyler Wade is the correct answer.
Okay.
I would have never gotten that one.
There's no way that's the truth.
The fact that Tyler Wade was an answer to a trivia question on this very program upsets me.
Tyler Wade, since the All-Star break, has 13 steals on 17 attempts.
Yeah, Starling Marte has like 40 on 42 attempts for the A's.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyler Wade is the correct answer. Yeah,
that bothers me.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing.
All right. Well, that does it for trivia after a half an hour. So we're going to get into our content for week. And we're going to do, believe it or not, for NFL week 3. Does anybody want to go first? Believe it or not?
I just want to put it out there, I'm lucky that I didn't get to give a believe it or not last week. Because my believe it or not was going to be, believe it or not, the Bills are going to stink at home all year. And then they came out and scored 80 points on Washington and destroyed them.
Yeah, the Bills are just a good football team.
Yeah, I just thought, if you've ever been to that place at a home game, they do crazy things on the field. They don't play real football. They just have fun. And I thought having fun was going to do them in.
This was your whole conspiracy theory about how Josh Allen was having a fluke season because there were no fans in attendance.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw a guy lay down to block a pass and took a puck directly to the face. Damn, laid down right in front of the goalie to block a pass, took a puck directly to the nose. He's bleeding over on the...
You're going to love my believe it or not, Nunez. I can lead us off.
Start with it.
All right, believe it or not, Mr. Nagy is going to finish the season as the Bears coach.
I believe it.
I 100% believe it because the Bears are too stupid to fire him.
We had this conversation on the radio show this morning.
I think that he's too good of a blamer for people to realize it's all his fault internally.
He did say after the game on Sunday in his press conference that it was all his fault. That's true.
No. But this is what master manipulators do. Yeah, it was all my fault, guys. And by the way, we have no clue starting at quarterback week after that disaster.
Yeah.
So it had nothing to do with play calling. It was a disaster in the quarterback room. We'll figure it out, though.
Yeah. I'll combine that with my first believe it or not, which I think I meant. I think Mark was still on the show this morning when I mentioned it, right?
Yeah, I was.
My first believe it or not is that, believe it or not, Justin Fields shouldn't play another snap this season, but not because of how he played on Sunday. That's the important caveat there. Let me explain why this is the unequivocally correct opinion to have on the matter. I mentioned it this morning on the radio show. I believe I basically have taken the stance of Dan Orlovsky in this situation where Sunday's game plan was one of two things. It was either negligence or it was intentional. There's no possible way that they could have come up with that game plan and decided that was the best thing for Justin Fields to succeed in his first start. It's been 4 months since they drafted him. You're telling me they don't have a game plan for him? Not at all, just non-existent.
Every defense in the NFL has a better game plan for him than the offense has.
I just don't get it. And I know I was talking to some people beforehand. Like, I know that this has been a problem for a few years now, with the fact that the Bears, Matt Nagy has what we've called big brain syndrome on the show before. Him and Doug Peterson are the big brain butt buddies, if you remember correctly. I told you I'd bring it back, Mark. I told you this morning that I would bring it back.
I was hoping we would just leave the show off with it.
Yeah, the Super Galaxy Brain Butt Buddies or whatever the hell you call them. Something like that. So he's so big-brained that through 4 different quarterbacks in the last 2 seasons, he won't change a single thing about the playbook. Whether it's Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles, Andy Dalton, Joe Mama, Justin Fields, the Pope, whoever is standing behind that offensive line, they're going to get the same bullshit swing passes on first and second down, a halfback draw on third, and then if you're lucky to get close enough, you're going to run a screen on 4th and 2 for no goddamn reason. Like, that's the Bears offense, and it's not going to change. But to go with your believe it or not, Austin, I know for a fact he's finishing the season. And I wouldn't be surprised if they fucking extended him. I talked about it this morning on the radio show that this offseason is their decision time on Nagy. Teams don't normally go with the sitting duck at head coach. Next season is the last season of his contract, so they have the decision to either fire him or extend him. I hope they go 2-15. They don't have any reason to extend this man. Because watch, if they go 8-9, 7-10, you know he's coming back next year.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. You know that for a fact that he's coming back for next year. And I hope and pray that Justin Fields doesn't play another snap under this man, because as I think I read a piece that David Carr wrote about it today. He writes for the NFL. It'll ruin his career.
Yep.
And trust me, David Carr knows that more than most people.
David Carr knows a thing or two about ruined NFL quarterback careers.
Yes, he does.
Problem is he'll never get benched for that reason. He'll only get benched because, I don't know, Matt Nagy's a psychopath. He'll never actually bench him to help him. Yeah. He's only thinking about himself, so...
I'm still picturing Myles Garrett coming at His Holiness in the in the shotgun.
Yeah. It was disgusting to watch. I turned it off after about halftime. I was about done with it. Like I said, it's either incompetence, unwillful negligence, like you just don't know what the hell you're doing, or they purposely wanted to make this bad for whatever God-given reason. And either way, that is a fireable offense. They should have been gone by this point.
Yeah.
But it won't happen. It probably won't happen this offseason anyways. Mark, I just turned on my PlayStation on accident. Mark, I want you to give me your first Believe It or Not statement for the week.
Believe it or not, the Saints are going to do this every week. It's just...
Care to expound on that first before I rebut?
Oh, we beat the shit out of the Packers. Oh, we got our asses handed to us by...
Yeah.
Who'd they play last week? Or 2 weeks ago? The Panthers.
Yeah.
Oh, we embarrassed the Patriots. It's just going to be week in and week out. Jameis Winston, Sean Payton, inconsistency like you read about.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's going to be a mess.
I believe it.
Has there ever been a team to alternate wins and losses for the entire season? Because I think the Saints might do it.
No, not that I know of. Speaking of the Panthers, actually, I think we can just agree that's probably just going to be the case. I want you guys to do the same exercise I had Josh do this morning. I'm going to give you.
Oh, I already know what I'm going to say.
I'm going to give you 3 3-0 teams right now, and I want you to rank them by how legit you think they are. I'm going to give you Carolina, I'm going to give you Denver, and I'm going to give you Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, Denver, Carolina.
Okay.
That's great. The exact opposite.
You have Carolina, Denver, Las Vegas?
Yeah.
All right. So I agree that I have Las Vegas first. I had it Las Vegas, Carolina, Denver. For similar reasons, by the way. The part of the reason why I think the Raiders are the most quote-unquote legit out of this group is because they've played actual NFL teams.
Yeah.
I will say, I also think that they have the best quarterback, which is a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I am less sold on a team like the Broncos or even the Panthers is because the Broncos have played the Giants, the Jaguars, and the Jets this season. Are the 3 worst teams in football they've played back to back to back.
They didn't play the Eagles.
And then the Panthers have played the Jets, the Saints, and the Texans, which is also not
good.
Good. So I will be interested. I mean, this week we're getting the gut check, right? Carolina plays Dallas this week, and Denver plays Baltimore this week. Like, now we figure it out this upcoming week, right? And I think the reason I had Vegas number 1, plainly, is I think that if they can figure out a way to run the football with any level of consistency, they're a top 5 offense in football. And that plays, regardless of what team you are. That plays just about anywhere. And I think something that is worth noting is the job that both Gus Bradley in Las Vegas and Dan Quinn in Dallas have done in terms of proving why defensive coordinators matter. It is not a team that has different personnel from last year in either case.
Yeah.
But the Raiders have one of the best pass rushes in the NFL in the first 3 weeks. And Dallas, as we'll get into it with my second, believe it or not, has played fantastic on defense the last 2 weeks. Truly great. I mean, they might have – there's a situation where they might actually have a legitimate lockdown corner in Trevon Diggs. Like, he's been that
good.
So
That guy is really good.
Especially when you throw him the ball, like right to him.
Yeah.
Doesn't help.
So I think coaching change has helped Vegas. I think it's helped Dallas too. And I think I feel more confident in liking Vegas because they've beaten, at the very least, not the worst teams in football.
3 playoff teams from last year, right?
Yeah, the Dolphins.
3-10 win teams. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. They beat Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Miami. That's a legitimate resume through 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know? Anyways. Austin, why don't you give me your second believe it or not statement?
All right, okay, everybody bear with me here. This is going to be a crazy one. Believe it or not, Nick Sirianni should be fired after last night. Fired, goodbye, because no NFL mind is worth anything would have called a game the way he just did last night. Or game planned a game, or done anything that way.
I'll be honest with you. Maybe I didn't watch the game as intently as everyone else, but to me, it just seemed like a normal, like, ass kicking. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But like the way that other people are treating it is like it was some like abject failure on the Eagles' part. And obviously, you play poorly, you get your ass kicked. That's one thing. Like, I think you understand the difference in what I'm saying here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a difference in, like, when I saw it, they just got outplayed by a better team and lost handily because of it. The reaction that I'm seeing on the internet is that, like, they should be fired into the sun over what happened.
My big takeaway is that clearly, if you watch the game, the Cowboys couldn't be stopped. First downs galore, right? And how do you beat the Chiefs? How do you beat the Bucks? How do you beat teams with good offenses? You don't let them get the ball back, right? 3 handoffs the entire game.
Yeah.
Our running back, who is probably above average running back in the NFL, get 13 yards per carry last night. You'd go, holy shit, the Eagles dominated that game. We had like a 22-yard carry and a 3-yard carry.
The catch is that the catch that he only had 2 carries last night.
I feel bad for Jalen Hurts because what young quarterback with 7 games experience is going to look good having to just say, we have no run game, we're just throwing the ball. Of course they're going to be locked on the receivers. Of course they're going to have a QB spy on them, not letting them run. Because nobody's falling for anything. We run play action on 80% of plays, but ran the ball 3 times. I mean, it was the grossest play. It's like something I would do in Madden. That looked like a game I would play in Madden, where I'm just like, yeah, dude, they'll fall for play action. They're just computers. Who cares? And I just keep running the same play over and over and over again. It was disgusting, and I think his age is showing. This coach, I mean,
is he like 12 years old or something?
Yeah, barely 12 years old.
Yeah, he's 11 and a half.
I actually think last night he turned 21, and it was very clear. So,
listen, I'm far from thrilled with how the game went last night. I'm not ready to say Sirianni should be fired yet, but I'm ready to say he wasn't the right hire. I'm ready to say that the Eagles made a mistake. Because
I would rather Doug Peterson right now.
Well, you know,
at least he gave Sanders the ball. This isn't Jay Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount we're talking about here. This isn't that type of Eagles.
This guy's got talent.
Miles Sanders, he's at above average.
Very good at football.
Yeah, Miles Sanders is a really good running back. He's not just above average. Miles Sanders is good. And you give him the ball twice against a team that, like we said, has at least a really good cornerback in Trevon Diggs. I'm very impressed with his play. And
Dallas's run defense was the problem last year.
Yeah.
What's the big issue?
Yeah, and to not run the ball, I just don't understand it. I didn't understand the play calling at all last night from an offensive standpoint. And you look at the numbers, it's like, oh, Jalen Hurts, 326 yards, a couple touchdowns. It couldn't have been that bad. No, it was that bad. It all came in garbage time.
It was garbage time at halftime.
Yeah.
That game was not close, really, at all, honestly.
There was no chance of winning that game ever.
The best play the Eagles had came in the first quarter when they forced the fumble and recovered it.
Hargrave with a great sack fumble. Fletcher Cox with the hand-eye coordination of a 180-pound man, not a 310-pound man. Snagging that ball off of the back of the guy.
Yeah, it was a great defensive play. It was the best play the Eagles had the entire game.
I'd like to say, I'm sorry to break this up, but on the intermission broadcast here at the Flyers game, they were talking about the Kraken and their preseason debut in which they beat the Canucks 5-3 the other day.
Mm-hmm.
The very first game in franchise history.
I'm intimately familiar.
Mark knows because he said it on Twitter. We'll say it here on the podcast. Mark, moving forward, is officially a Seattle Kraken fan.
I'm a crackhead, baby.
Oh,
yeah.
Nobody calls it a crackhead.
No, we're rolling with that because it's still funny. It
was funny the first time I saw it on Twitter as soon as the name was announced. It's funny now.
Yes, it's funny to say that. It's funny to have the hashtag #GoCrackGo. Like, that's funny, all right?
Yeah.
It's very funny. Austin, do you have a favorite team in hockey?
Yeah, my dad was a Penguins fan, so I just latched on when I was a kid.
Gotcha. I didn't know. We don't really talk about hockey very often on the show.
I'm more of a hockey connoisseur, and I like a lot of teams. Like, don't support them, but I like to root for basically anybody. I'm not like a huge hockey fan enough where I have like a vendetta or anything against teams or anything like that.
I generally feel that way in any sport that's not football. Like in the NFL, my allegiance runs far too deep to root for any team that's not named the Chicago Bears. But like the other fans, I would consider myself the other sports. I would consider myself a fan of the sport first.
Yeah.
With the exception of my Miami Heat fandom, that comes first and foremost. But it's such a like a player driven sport where like not only do I obviously openly root for the Heat on literally every occasion, but like I love so many players. Like I just like watching basketball. You know what I mean? And it's the same.
Breaking news.
Oh, I'm both a diehard New York Yankees fan and a closeted diehard Miami Marlins fan.
You're a bigger Marlins fan than you are a Yankees fan at this point. The amount of Marlins questions we've had during trivia.
It's pure coincidence that the Marlins show up that often on trivia. I don't make the trivia questions. I get them from other places.
I don't believe it. I think you are actively searching for Marlins-based trivia because you just want to talk about the Miami Marlins.
That would be really funny if I was. And I'm telling you, it's just coincidence. That's hilarious. But yeah, no, like I actively root for the Miami Marlins to be good. I want them to be good at baseball. Like that's true. That's true. But in hockey, I'm a long-suffering Sabres fan, and there's nothing to root for in that franchise. So I just kind of like watch around, I guess.
The Kraken are my fourth NHL team.
Okay.
Started
in succession, not your fourth favorite. Right?
Yeah, no, like fourth in succession.
Number one favorite.
Yeah, huge number one. Like it's
huge,
but,
huge. Clearly,
I started as a Bruins fan, and then I stopped caring about hockey, and then I became a Sabres fan for like a month and a half, and I was like, "This is terrible. Why did I get myself into this?
This is not fun. Why did I do that?"
Then I was a Blues fan for like around when they won the Stanley Cup, and then the next season because I went to a St. Louis Blues game and I was like, this is cool. And then I gave up on that. But now I'm a diehard Seattle Kraken fan. I will be getting a sweater at some point because they're the coolest goddamn sweaters.
Friend of the show, Tim Gilliard. Friend of the show, Tim Gilliard, does not watch hockey. He does have a pair of Seattle Kraken shorts.
Yeah, like their logo is so cool. The colors are awesome. It's
good. It's really good. The NHL did a really good job with this one.
Yeah,
I tend to gravitate towards like, especially in a sport where the team that I like doesn't do anything well. I tend to gravitate towards like those like mid-market teams. Like the part of the reason why I find myself rooting for the Marlins a little bit is because like Nobody gives a shit about the Marlins. So I'm gonna give a shit about the Marlins, and I think they're fun. I think they have good players, and I see, if you squint hard enough, you can see it, right? You know what I'm talking about.
I like Jazz Chisholm. I like Jadaniel.
Jadaniel. I mean, their ability to develop pitchers is unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is.
Develop pitchers and then trade them away for nothing. Unbelievable.
They're the Pirates. It's the exact same thing as the Pirates.
Yeah, except they're doing it more recently than the Pirates. I would say probably with a longer track record, because they were doing this with the first group of the Stallions from back in like 15 or whatever, and that's while the Pirates were also doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pirates have phased out.
Well, I'm just like, you still got Garrett Cole, Jameson Tyone, Tyler Glass now. But
I'm not saying what I'm saying is like they're not continuing to develop. The way the Marlins.
Hey,
the Marlins.
You don't know that.
New top pitching prospect every week.
Yeah.
They're just thing is the Pirates are like Adam Gase though. As soon as these pitchers leave Adam Gase, they're
good. Yeah.
They're good. So
and that was in due to their coaching staff. Like players have talked about, I think it was Glasnow in particular, talked about the fact that like the way that they have, and basically their whole thing was like, we had a good season with Ivan Nova one time. So let's just have every pitcher pitch like Ivan Nova did in 2014. And shocker, it's not working. So
they had a little bit more of a track record than that.
It's a joke, Mark.
Listen, I'm a big Francisco Liriano guy. I'm going to defend Pirates Francisco Liriano until the grave.
Okay. Anyways, back to hockey. We've gone on a long tangent, but I don't really care. Like when the Sabres give me nothing to cheer for, which is all the time, I tend to find myself gravitating towards like those smaller market teams. Like I remember being super big on Nashville a few years ago. I was convinced that the Sharks were going to win the Stanley Cup the year they went and lost to Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Even more so, I was dead convinced that Ottawa was going to win the Stanley Cup the year that they went to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Penguins in like 2015, I think it was. And they lost in 7 games because Craig Anderson had like his one good season that year. It was insane. Anyways, the Yankees just took the lead. Let's go.
And the Red Sox just lost the lead to the Orioles.
Let's go! Come on now. All right. I got another. Mark, do you have another believe it or not statement that we haven't gotten to yet? Because I do.
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay. Believe it or not, as it currently sits, the Cowboys are the best team in the NFC.
Oh.
No.
No.
It's the Rams until it's not the Rams.
I agree. I think it's the Rams until it's not the Rams. I think, believe it or not, the Cowboys could not play 5 games and still win that division. But
I believe.
Oh that.
In terms of the entire NFC, I think it's.
I'm not saying I believe it. As of right now, I would say the Rams. I just brought this up basically as a point to talk about how impressed
I had them winning 12 games before the season started. So I had them as the 3 seed behind the Rams in Tampa Bay.
I did not. I had them winning like 10 games and winning the division, but like having the worst record of the NFC playoff teams. And I was wrong about that.
I don't remember if I finished my playoff predictor.
Early season things I've been wrong about. The Cowboys are better than I thought. And really, like I said, this, believe it or not, was an excuse for me to talk about how good the Cowboys defense has been through 3 weeks, basically. And then I was entirely wrong about the Raiders. If you look at my preseason predictor, I had them as like the second worst team in the AFC. We said it on the previews that like I was done with the whole Raiders thing, and now I'm like an abuse victim. I'm back in. Like I'm ready for them to hurt me again. Like
it's me with the Falcons and Chargers.
Yeah. No, it's everyone with the Chargers.
Yeah.
Every single human fell for the Chargers bit for like 6 straight years.
Yep. They
yeah. And yeah, the Raiders are just gonna I'm back in on that. But anyways, Mark, tell me what your last statement is.
Well, my last statement involves making it 7 straight years because, believe it or not, we're going to have an all-LA Super Bowl this year.
Oh, here
Yeah, no, I don't believe that.
I will be on Mark's side here. I'll play double devil's advocate back at Nunez and say I think the Chargers defense is upper echelon.
Mm-hmm.
I think what they did to the Cowboys, who I don't think anybody should be able to stop that team, showed that they can hang with anybody. Obviously, with the weapons they have on offense and the way Herbert's playing, their offense can score 30 on any night. I don't think necessarily they're going to be consistent enough to be with the best teams, but I think that if you get them hot into the playoffs, they're not a team that you're going to want to play. That's for damn sure.
That's fair. The reason I sell it loosely is because I tend to think that while they're very talented, they're quite inconsistent. And I think they're going to be one of those teams that if and when they make the playoffs, they'll be one of those teams where like lack of experience all around on the roster is going to hurt them in a game against like Baltimore in the second round or something like that, basically.
Who are we talking about?
The Chargers.
The Chargers.
San Diego Football Giants.
Well, Los Angeles Football Chargers, but you know. So, Josh, how's the Jeff Dunham special?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It just started here, Nunez, and it is electric. So there's a studio audience that paid for special tickets, and they suck. The audio is terrible. But my friend's dad, who paid for it, just is really into this, and so I'm like, yeah, dude, this is great.
You're like fake laughing to make him feel good.
He's just like in his shop, and he's like, "Here are all my old dummies that sucked," and I'm like,
"Oh, he makes ventriloquist dummies."
Yeah, well, yeah, like they're just like he's like this one. I had that jalapeno on a stick guy that did really well. Look at this one. I thought in '83 this would be good. This is meatball on spaghetti on a plate.
Oh, you're talking about this is Dunham's bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I thought you said your friend's dad used to make
Yeah, I thought you did too.
No? That's what
And I was like, wait, he invented Jose Jalapeno on a stick? What the?
No, sorry. Now
that joke used to be hilarious back in 7th grade. Jalapeno on a stick.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta
get we were just talking about the things, right? So we're gonna get into FanDuel here before we head out. Like we said, Austin took the automatic L last week because he didn't put his thing in.
Another one this week.
And he said,
from what I've heard, from what Austin has been teasing to me, his lineup is bound to be last this week. So Austin, I'm gonna let you go first, actually, and tell us your FanDuel lineup for the week.
I'm gonna leave the stack for last. I do have a quarterback receiver stack, but that's where it gets exciting. So I'm gonna leave it for last. You're gonna hear this dominant lineup outside of that. Running backs: Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon. Kamara against the Giants should be relatively, they should be in the lead most of the game. They should run the ball. They should do a lot of things in front of the corners that are in the DBs that are good for the Giants. Keep the ball short. Don't let Winston make too many mistakes. Win the game. Okay? Boom. Mixon against Jacksonville. I actually think this might be high scoring, but I think Cincinnati should also be playing from the lead and should try and just run the ball, force Jacksonville to try and air it out, have Trevor Lawrence make mistakes. That's what people should do. Running the ball is a good idea. That's what I heard. All right, receivers, we're going to skip the stack. Mike Williams against the Raiders because I hate the Raiders. Mike Williams' target share has been unbelievable. And then DJ Moore against Dallas in a game that I think should be a shootout because I think that Carolina's defense is good, but I don't think any defense is good enough to keep Dallas below 25-ish points. Then my tight end, Travis Kelce against Philadelphia. Who plays linebacker for that team? Me, you, Nunez. I don't know who. I don't know who plays linebacker, but not anybody good. You saw a lot of underneath stuff beating the Eagles this week. The Chiefs aren't going to run the ball, so this is where it gets a little hairy. The flex pick here. Trust me, he hasn't had a blow-up game yet. The Steelers haven't been able to contain the deep ball. Okay. Valdez Scantling is going to catch a deep ball this week for a tutty. You won't believe it. I won't believe it. Nobody believes it, but it's going to happen. My defense, the throwaway pick. I usually go expensive defense just because it's fun. This week I went cheap, and on what Mark said, back and forth, the Saints, who knows? The Giants defense. Maybe Jameis comes out and lays an egg this week. Who knows? They're really cheap. Defense isn't bad, and they're really cheap. They're like the fourth cheapest defense. I mean, what can you say against Jameis? Now, for the stack of the week, I have no clue if this quarterback will even be starting because their head coach has said that there's 3 people competing for this job. But I have Justin Fields tentatively as my starter with my stack of the week, my super duper stack of the week, Darnell Mooney. Now hear me out. Did anybody watch Marquise Brown this week? Have 3 deep balls wide open. He could have caught 100 touchdowns this week if he could catch a pass.
Yeah.
Who's going to run the deep routes for the Bears? Darnell Mooney. He can stretch the field. And you know what? He's going to catch a deep ball this week. Fields is running for 80 yards. He's running for a touchdown. You're going to see a 300-yard performance. You're going to see a couple touchdowns. You're going to see a damn beast out on the field this weekend. And you're going to see the Bears dominate with a Nagy comeback week to save his job.
Up. Yeah, this is going to be bullshit when the Bears win by 30 this week. I can see that one coming. This reminds me of the Tampa Bay game, like week 5 in 2018, where Trubisky threw 6 touchdowns. This reminds me of that game. Like, I was giving up on the season. That was the week after the Arizona game that they blew, and they come out and destroy the Bucks, and everything turns around. Blah blah blah. Except it's not going to turn around this time. His team fucking sucks. Anyways, Austin, do you have a backup plan if Justin Fields isn't starting?
Andy Dalton.
Well, see,
Nick Foles.
I would have to tear it all apart because as you can imagine, the Fields Mooney stack is
not expensive,
unbelievably cheap.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll revisit that next week if you do end up having to change it.
If I may, my friends.
Yes, Josh.
May I go next?
Yes. Yeah. So you can get back to your puppet guy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, this guy's electric, dude. It's a 2-hour event. I gotta get back.
Oh God, 2 straight hours of that guy?
Yeah, it was $20 too. I found out. Who's buying these things? All right, let's get into it. Let's go with. I'll do the fun one first. Everyone loves defense, right? Defense. The greatest football minds I know only care about defense. So first off, the San Francisco 49ers defense. Seattle is stinky poo-poo trash. And San Francisco is apparently good on defense. So who cares? Get it out of the way. Let's go to someone that's going to score some friggin' touchdowns. Am I right? Let's get some scoring around here, huh? Let's start off with our cheap, because no one else is playing running back play of the week. That's Chuba Hubbard against Dallas. I actually think the rush defense is pretty good, but
yeah, it's Chuba.
Yeah,
all
Chuba
right, Trista.
That's right.
Hubba Bubba Gum.
Exactly. Bubba Gum, Chuba Bubba, same thing. And so Chuba Hubbard, just based on volume alone, dude should get me something, and Dallas will be stinky poo-poo when it matters most. So they go down. Also rooting against my own team here, I also went with DJ Moore. The connection there between Sam Darnold and him, I believe they touched tips prior to week 1, and that may be fueling this connection. I'm not sure. I've never done it with someone, but I hear. What's that? They did. There's massive speculation of massive tip touching. We'll then go to my other running back play of the week. I went with Austin Eckler. Actually, this is my flex spot. Sorry, Austin Eckler. I'm jumping all around this week because I got one big stack of Rooski that I'm saving it for. So Austin Eckler, 7,900. The Vegas Raiders. I think that could be the highest scoring matchup of the week. Next, we'll go to, I guess we can call it a game stack here, Nunez. My next 5 players, all from the same game, my last 5 here. I believe this is the time. This game is going to be a shootout. Good old-fashioned NFC shootout, okay? Started off, Kyle Pitts finally finds the end zone for Atlanta against Washington. I also went with Calvin Ridley. Where's he been, huh? Everyone wants to call his name. He's your hero. I go with Calvin Ridley. Him and DJ Moore, draft class partners, teaming up on my team this week. Here we go. And then my final 3 players, all from that same game. You're going, what? Did he stack the kid himself? The mastermind behind the Washington football team? The greatest backup quarterback of our generation? I did. I went Taylor Heineke and Terry McLaurin for the Washington football team. Boy, do I think this one's going to be fun. That kid's electric to watch. You watch highlights of that kid, he's pumped up. He's probably got the most swagger of any backup since Minshew Mania took over, which was pretty recent, actually. But also, last pick, same game. You know where I'm going. Antonio Gibson. I think this one will just be a rout. Washington gets up early, commands the game, and then we get to see some fun throwing from Matt Ryan because that happens every week because, well, they suck. So.
Unfortunately, it doesn't
At least I know I'm not coming in last.
Those are 2 of the worst FanDuel lineups I've ever heard.
What are you talking about? I went game stack, Nunez. You love the game stack.
You want to hear something funny about that? So, quick stats about Atlanta. Their average depth of target this season is about 4.2 yards, worse than the NFL by a wide margin. And also, here a fun fact here. Even with that, it seems to be a coaching thing because if we look back at last season, Calvin Ridley, who only played 15 games, by the way, had over 2,000 air yards last season. You know who was in second place? It was DK Metcalf with just over 1,700. So in less than a full season, Calvin Ridley had more air yards than the rest of the NFL by over 300 yards.
Guy goes deep.
It's just not happening this season. Maybe they will this week because Washington's defense has been stinky poo-poo. Mark, take it away with your lineup. And Josh, if you have to leave to go watch the silly guy, then go do that.
The puppet guy.
Yeah.
Peace out, folks.
Enjoy, buddy. I also have a game stack this week, so I'm going to get to that last. I'm also going to start with defense. I agree with Austin. I've also got the Giants defense because, like I said, I think Jameis might go out and throw 4 picks today or this week. Could happen. It's just you never know with Jameis. Moving on up, flex spot. We got the human tank himself, Derrick Henry, going up against the Jets. Boy, oh boy, are they awful.
Yeah, my only concern about Derrick Henry is that they're up by 30 at halftime, and
because he's got 3 touchdowns and 180 yards.
Yeah, well, so if you reconsider that, right, like if they're up by that much at halftime, odds are Derrick Henry has a couple touchdowns.
Yeah. So yeah. I think any way this shakes out for the Titans, Derrick Henry's going to have a good game. Yeah. So I went with the chalk. I went with the most expensive player. Just safest pick.
He's catching passes this year.
He is catching passes this year.
12 catches through 3 games. His career high is 19 in a season, by the way.
Yeah. So I love Derrick Henry this week. Tight end. Someone else who's catching passes. Someone who has dropped a lot of passes in the past, but he's doing better. That's Dawson Knox for the Buffalo Bills. Knox has looked better. He's gotten in the end zone a couple of times. They're playing Houston. You know, Houston looked scrappy the first couple of weeks. I don't think they're so scrappy anymore.
And, you know, when the MVP comes in the fourth quarter, because you presume the Bills would be up by 50, he might be looking for that curly-headed guy in the end zone.
He could be.
Yeah.
So I like Dawson Knox. One of my wide receivers. The other 2 are part of the game stack. I'm also going to Charger. I'm going Keenan Allen instead of Mike Williams. Keenan Allen's just that guy. You know he's going to get targets. You know he's probably going to find the end zone. Herbert loves him. I know he's been thrown to Williams a lot, but I expect Keenan Allen's target share to just increase.
Well, and, you know, there's enough to go around for everyone.
Yeah. So I went with Keenan Allen, saved a little there. He's 71. I think Mike Williams was 7,600. Running back, Cordell Patterson is having a really sneaky year for the Falcons because he just does everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
He runs, he catches, he'll go on special teams. He'll probably come in at quarterback at some point in this game. Cordell Patterson is just all over the field, and he's had a couple of good weeks in a row, so I'm going to ride with him. Like we said, the football team's defense, it's looking a little suspect right now. It's supposed to be the strength of that team. It has not looked good. So I'm going to go with the Cordell Patterson there. Then I got my game stack. Quarterback, running back, 2 wide receivers. We're going Jacksonville, Cincinnati for this game stack. I got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
That's a great game stack, by the way.
Thank you.
I think this game's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I think this game's going to be all over the place. Neither of these teams know what defense is.
Cincinnati's defense has been pretty good so far this
year.
year.
But I'll never trust the Bengals defense. So, but I like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. He learned how to catch an NFL football. It's not too big for him. He doesn't need to see the lines on the ball anymore.
Do you get scared that he's caught 4 touchdowns in 3 games? Do you get scared about a little a regress sequence happening?
Not against Jacksonville, I don't.
That's fair.
If they were playing any other team, I wouldn't have touched this. The Jaguars
did just trade away their number 2 corner. So
yeah, that was crazy.
I forgot about that. So yeah, even better. Give me Burrow and Jamar Chase. Running back, I got James Robinson. He saw those touches go up again this past week.
Yeah, I think Urban Meyer might finally be getting the hint that Carlos Hyde isn't good.
Yeah,
maybe.
Which it's about time. And I still think Urban Meyer quits on this team by week 8, but he's still in for now.
Right. It's only week 4. So
it's only week 4. He's still got a few weeks. Robinson's been seeing those those touches go up. Had a really good week last week. I expect that to continue. And I've got DJ Chark Jr., who I don't know why. I've got this weird fascination with DJ Chark.
He's pretty good at football, so.
He is, and he's always underpriced, it seems. So I take him like too often, probably, especially because Trevor Lawrence has not looked great, but I still like it. That is my what's that one type Wormer winning lineup of the week?
Your what?
Isn't that a type of dog? It's like a Wormer.
Oh, I have no idea. All right, so here's the thing. My lineup has various components from everybody else's lineup in it. I think our thoughts were pretty similar coming into this week, which usually isn't the case, but
yeah.
So my game stack is also the Thursday night game, and I have Joe Burrow and Tyler Boyd. You could see a little bit of an uptick in targets with T. Higgins possibly being out, and even then maybe being limited. Then we're going to run it back with DJ Chark. I understand that Marvin Jones is the best receiver on the team, and I wanted to find a way to fit Laviska Shenault in my lineup because I just got a feeling that like he's going to have that game soon. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? F it. We're going to change it right now. Changing it on the fly so we can get a little different here. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with Boyd and Shenault in that game. Secondary game stack here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be running that Monday night stack between the Chargers and the Raiders, game that I think is probably going to be the highest scoring game of the week, if not second highest scoring game of the week. I'd put good money on Kansas City, Philadelphia as well, being pretty high scoring.
Doesn't this other team have to score points for it to happen?
Well, you know, if the Chiefs score 40 something, it doesn't really have to.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think the Chiefs were going to score any. I was talking about the Chiefs scoring.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Eagles are going to come out and dominate.
Something, then I guess.
Yeah. I guess Mahomes might have to throw a touchdown pass.
Right, exactly. And then you hit the over. You know, right there. So yeah, we're gonna go with that Monday night stack. I got Austin Eckler on one side and Darren Waller on the other. Money in the bank at the tight end position. The hell are you gonna do about it? So other than that, I've got Calvin Ridley as a wide receiver in a game where I think he should be able to have some success here against this Washington defense. I don't care if Matt Ryan's not throwing it more than 6 yards down the field. Maybe he'll get like 15 targets. Who the hell knows? I honestly don't. I'm not sure when to say no and stop trusting this godforsaken Atlanta offense. My other running back position was originally going to be Antonio Gibson, but I switched it. And I think we're going to go with DeAndre Swift this week against the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Moderately involved. By moderately, I mean he's gotten at least 5 targets in each of the first 3 games of the season. Pretty well involved in the passing game. He had 21 touches last week in a game that they were close. I expect this game to be stupid and close this whole time. And even then, if the Bears get up to a lead, I expect DeAndre Swift to still get touches. And if there's one thing that I know the Bears can't do, it's guard over the middle of the field. So, I mean, they might be able to hit Texas routes with DeAndre Swift every single play, and he'll have like 150 yards. I guess it's a little concerning because the Bears' run defense, interior-wise, is actually pretty good. But who the hell knows, man? Maybe that's why I'm going to change it to David Montgomery right on the spot. David Montgomery, hashtag football. Give me a bounce-back week against this pitiful Lions run defense. Now, I know they played well against Baltimore last week. I don't care. All right? Anyways.
Fluke.
Flex. Then we'll go with another guy who I think is due for his big game of the season. Still has got to score a touchdown. This is going to be Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
They're playing Miami. I know Indianapolis' offense has looked like a mess as of late. But so have the Dolphins, and they just got lit up for 100 yards by Peyton Barber. So,
the week before that, Zach Moss had like 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Right, exactly. So I like Jonathan Taylor to have his first big blow-up game of the season right here against the Dolphins. And then leaving $300 on the board, I'm going to go with my defense pick, a defense that I think is going to be a sneaky good pick this week, and that's the Green Bay Packers against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I know what you're thinking. Packers defense ain't that good. And you'd be right. Admittedly. But you know what else ain't good?
Big.
Steelers offense ain't good, baby. And that's what I like. And you know what matches up well with a team that throws 50 times a game and can't block for shit? A team with 2 good corners. And that's what the Packers are. Maybe they pick off the
You think the Steelers just prove that how valuable a quarterback is? Like, look at the talent on that roster, on that offense, and then just like how bad they are. You got an old man running around.
It's pretty garbage, too, for what it's worth.
Yeah, that's fair.
But no, I mean, Ben Roethlisberger's played terrible. And I expect it to continue this week against the Packers. So, Packers defense, and that'll end it. Like I said, $300 left on the board. But you know what? I'm kind of rocking and rolling with it. So, it should be a fun time. Anyways, that is it for our FanDuel lineups this week. We'll be sure to do updates on those next week. And overall, that's it for the show. A couple things before we head out. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hot Stove Pod. That's at Hot Stove Pod on Twitter. Here on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave a comment if you want to, as well as hit the notification bell to know when we post new videos. And also make sure to listen to Hot Stove on WQAQ every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Link is in our Twitter bio. Link isn't in our bio. The radio station's Twitter handle is in our Twitter bio, and the link is in their bio. So you got to do a little bit extra like work, but trust me.
That sounds awful and complicated, and I will never do it.
Okay, well, the link is out there. Do a little bit of work, you'll find it every Tuesday at 9 a.m. That's the next time that we'll be out here. So for all of us here at the Hot Stove, we appreciate you for watching. We love you, and we will see you next week.
Peace.